nation. Monumental structures like the Statue of Unity, Bandra-Worli ceiling, metro rails, coastal Gujarat Power, Motera Cricket Stadium, Ballaparam Rail Bridge project and the most recently inaugurated Atal Tunnel is a testimony to some of the exemplary collaborations. A visual gallery of these structures are available for your personal viewing in our pre-function area on the landmark wall. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultratech Cement has and will continue to lead the way and support you in building ambitious construction projects in India. We see our present situation as a transient pause, a chance to recalibrate ourselves and emerge stronger, better and faster. As we all know, the Aditya Vandana is reflective of our values and a commitment to a never-ending journey towards excellence. Espousing this positive sentiment, let us begin our much-awaited celebration with the auspicious Aditya Vandana.
Aditya Savita Surya Khagah Bhusha Gabhastima Suvarna Sadrisho Bhanur Vishwareta Divakaraha.
कर्मणे नमस्तमो विघ्नाय तुझये लोकसाक्षिणे जयाय जय भद्राय हर्षवाय नमो नमः सहस्रांश आदित्याय नमो नमः आदित्याय नमो नमः.
The beautiful Aditya Vandana extols the greatness of the sun, and today I urge you to bask in its energy and move closer towards the path of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, while we proceed further into this virtual experience, I appeal to you to join me in immersing yourself into what we have carefully crafted for you today. Showcase your appreciation and energies through your applause, your voices and your emotions, and truly participate in this celebration just like you would do in person. I feel so energized looking at this fantastic response. What a packed full house we have this evening, and we could not have asked for more. Thank you for being such a responsive audience and taking time out to celebrate and support the benchmark achievements of the fraternity this evening. While we wave at each other through a screen, our smiles blur these virtual boundaries. This year's journey is proof that if we stand by each other, we can survive anything. As they rightly say, tough times never last, tough people do. Before we proceed, we would like to inform you of our
Thank you. Good evening, friends. On behalf of Indian Concrete Institute, Hyderabad Center, and on behalf of Executive Committee members, and on behalf of our corporate partners, Ultratech Cements, I invite you all for today's Ultratech Concrete Excellency Awards 2020. On 7th September, every year we celebrate Concrete Day celebrations, and Hyderabad Center normally we used to give these awards on the Concrete Day celebrations day. But however, because of the pandemic situation, we celebrated Concrete Day celebrations on 7th September. But today we are giving these awards through digital mode. I invite all the ICI members and GC members and our All India President. Best wishes to all the nominees and the awardees. And today we have a very excellent technical presentation by eminent engineer Professor Mahesh Tandon ji. Is the Managing Director of Tandon Consultants Private Limited, New Delhi, on metro construction employing precast concrete. This is the future of urban infrastructure, very specifically transportation. Friends, have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
Respected sir, thank you for welcoming our audience. Our next speaker is indeed one of the most inspiring leaders. Fortunately for us, we have the privilege of being led by a thought leader with countless laurels. He leads by example. Not only has he penned nearly 100 technical papers in civil engineering journals and conferences, but also supported institutes like IAHE, CRRI, CITC, ISTA, DPC, and many others with his insightful lectures. He is an active member of multiple codes and standards committees of BIS and IRC in India, and has been a part of our industry since 1987, setting benchmarks along the way. He is also the president of Indian Institution of Bridge Engineers. Please join me in welcoming the president of Indian Concrete Institute, Mr. Vinay Gupta.
Thank you, Chairman. I am really delighted to be in this August gathering of the award ceremony organized by the center. And I must say, a good amount of work has been put in by the enthusiastic office bearers of the center. So my great thanks to them. A bit about ICI. ICI was started in 1982 on the 7th September in Chennai with a member base of 500 people and spread over 5 regional centers. And today we have approximately 13,000 self-propelled professionals. It's a large organization, spread over 44 centers. And in addition to 44 regional centers, we do have about 300 plus student chapters. So that's a great pride for ICI. However, over the next 1 to 2 years, we intend to go about 15,000 members, 50 centers, apart from the student chapters. In fact, recently I have inaugurated centers at Gurugram, Midnapur, etc. And the new centers in pipeline are Tirupati, Jammu, Srinagar, Bidar, Leh, etc., etc. Interesting to note that the ex-chairman of Delhi Center is in Leh. And even in a place like Leh, he wants to start a new center. And he's expected to get a transfer to Srinagar, and wherein he may start another center. Rather, he will start another center. I know his energy, because when he went to Siliguri, he started another center there in Siliguri, which of course we had to reactivate after some time. So with this kind of energy that people have, enthusiasm that people have, ICI has no way to stop. It has to continue improving, enlarging, developing. Friends, about development of a country, and if we talk of where India is, progress of a country is generally recognized by the amount of concrete the country produces. We have 182 countries in the world. The world produces about 4 billion tons of cement, which is the main ingredient of concrete. India alone produces about 1/10 of that. So where are we? We are far ahead of the rest of the world. 1/10 by one country out of 182. Despite of that, you will agree with me that engineers have a low self-esteem in general. Some of the cases are different, no doubt about it. I'm one of those. I don't have any low self-esteem, honestly. In someone's words, engineer builds the world. The civil engineer builds a foundation, because the very first thing that comes up for inhabitation of any society, that is a road, building, industry, etc., is by civil engineer. So the foundation is the first one brought in by civil engineer, that's you and me together. Mechanical engineer puts a system into this structure. Chemical engineer puts a flow process into the structure. Electrical engineer puts energy into the system. And the computer engineer puts a program for the entire thing to start functioning. So when so many things are done by engineers, then why are the engineers staying behind? Why do they have to hide faces? There is absolutely no reason in my mind. So all this work that the engineers do must be recognized. And therefore, these ICI centers and also the head office of ICI separately during the AGM have awards functions in order to recognize people's work, encourage the people to do more and more and better work, and for others who are attending the ceremonies to get the knowledge that look, so and so work has been done in our country. And lots of marvelous projects have been constructed in this country, but we know only part of them, some of them, not all of them by any means. So it is these functions, these award ceremonies, which bring you up to carry out more and more interesting projects in your professional life. Of course, different centers have different formats. Some may have less awards, some have more awards, some have different categories. That freedom is available, and some are still improving and either increasing the categories or brushing up the categories. But award functions are necessary, integral part of our development are the award functions. And of course, you know very well that ICI is fully into knowledge dissemination. And one of the ingredients of dissemination is to encourage people, which is through awards and many other aspects, of course. Coming to how to organize the award functions, there was a big challenge. What will we do this year when we are not supposed to have a physical meeting, physical award functions, physical governing council meetings, physical AGM, etc. So this challenge of COVID has created an opportunity for our IT industry. Look at the example of this organization Lux Life, who have put this program together for us for the awards. These people make a virtual platform for the awards in such a way that virtual goes very close to real. That's what we are looking for. We avoid our travels, we avoid our physical meetings, we avoid our contamination of any kind of a thing, but we still attend the award function and do a clap for awardees, for the winners. Well, coming to digital format, once again, ICI itself has developed a new website, indianconcreteinstitute.org, wherein you can log in, you can go in, you can open, and you can get all the information about ICI, including its regional centers and chairpersons and so on and so forth, and the administration. And even things like you can apply for online membership. You have e-learning portal. Handbooks and journals are uploaded, which can be seen, downloaded, etc. there is even a payment link which can be made use of. And the very next elections of ICI will be through e-voting process, which is absolutely new, I must say. And the feather in the cap is that we are bringing in mobile responsive application, which means you download an app on your cell phone and the entire website would be available there on the mobile, and one can very conveniently use it for various purposes. So with these words, I would say a good luck to the center, and also my hearty congratulations to the award winners, that they should do better and better, and they should come back again with another award next year and years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your vision with us and our fraternity. At Ultratech, we have always enabled big dreams. Turning your impossibles into possibles, India's #1 cement brand has always stood tall and strong to build on those lofty ideas. तो आइए मिलकर भारत के इरादों में जान डाल दें. Can we have the AV, please?
बेटा, हम
Next on the agenda is a talk by a renowned speaker who brings with him a plethora of experience. His path-breaking ideas and exemplary leadership mark his illustrious journey in the industry. He has also been sharing his wealth of experience and his knowledge of civil engineering with students for the past 3 decades, breeding a new generation of talent. He is the former Vice President of the Indian Concrete Institute. Please welcome Dr. Ramachandra B., the Functional Head of Technical Services at Ultratech Cement.
A very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings from Ultratech. We are very happy and privileged to be with all of you today for this awards function of Ultratech. While conducting this program on awards function, the Ultratech Cements has certain objectives. The objectives include promoting quality in the use of materials as well as in the construction practices, and to identify and award good constructions in the country. The good engineers, contractors, masons, and also the good constructions. And training of the people who are involved in the construction, training of engineers, masons, and contractors, publishing good construction related literatures, and promoting new technologies, whether it is in housing or on roads or on other aspects of construction, promoting and awarding good construction technologies. These are the objectives of Ultratech, which has brought us to this platform. I'm happy to introduce all of you to the basics of Ultratech. Ultratech, as you all know, friends, it has a vision to be the leader in building solutions. You are all aware that Ultratech is the first or the topmost cement company in the country, and hence we want to be the leader in the building solution. And how do we intend to promote this? By promoting our products, whether it is cement or ready-mix concrete or building products as a solution. It is not just about products, it is about providing services to the construction industry and to be a total solution provider, whether it is in the area of housing or on roads, through subject matter experts and technical specialists. Now, maybe you'll be wondering what are the strengths of Ultratech and what is the reason for Ultratech becoming #1 in the country. Very broadly, I can say proudly that it is because of the consistent quality of Ultratech. It is because of the widespread nature of the technical services team in the country, and also because of the brand image of Ultratech as a part of Aditya Birla Group. Look at the spread of Ultratech all across the country. We have plants all over the country, almost in all the states we have, so that the services supply and the services of our products as well as services are uniform all across the country. Our journey has started in the year 1983 with just 1 million ton of production. And I am happy to tell you that currently we are at 116.75 million tons of cement production. Therefore, we are the largest cement company in the country and the third largest in the world, excluding China. It is not only about cement, but also about ready-mix concrete. We have more than 100 plants, ready-mix concrete plants, and we have building products, the house building through various building products, whether they are related to the foundation, tile fixing, waterproofing, and other construction-related chemicals, either for new construction or for repairing the existing building. We have a very wide range of products called as the building products. Now, with all these bouquet of products and services, we have a fleet of more than 300 mobile concrete labs in the country, which is the first in the cement industry. And with more than 1,400 people spread across the country, UltraTech takes pride in having the biggest technical services team in the cement industry. With this brief background, I would again welcome all of you to this awards function. And these awards functions we have come a very long way, close to 2 decades. We are conducting these programs, and with all your support, I am very sure this program and our other events would go on as it was earlier. I invite all of you to this function once again, and I wish you a very happy and a relaxing day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to hear from you. Building stronger bonds every day. The Aditya Birla Group is committed to bringing positive changes while building the future of the nation. Reflecting its values, brand UltraTech is not just the strongest, biggest and largest in the industry on several fronts, but has also pioneered cutting-edge technologies from products to logistics. Can we have the AV, please?
A vision becomes a milestone when it helps make our lives richer with love and laughter. When it helps make a cleaner, smarter, and a more beautiful planet. So that you can set off on joyous new journeys and adventures. Building stronger bonds and bridging impossible distances, which take you from the ever new to the forever beautiful. Opening up vistas and windows to a vibrant new world. A vision becomes a milestone when it touches millions of lives every single day. Aditya Birla Group, big in your life.
What a fantastic evening this is turning out to be. We just don't seem to get enough of all the wisdom that the lineup of thought leaders are sharing with us. Allow me to invite a visionary, a stalwart of our industry, and one of the most influential thought leaders of our times.
Friends, my greetings to you in this festive season, which we are celebrating in a novel way this year, virtually. That is so because the virus may be unseen, because its size is just 100 nanometers. As you know, nanometers means 10 to the power minus 9 meters. But it is very real, believe me. So let us take precautions and find new ways to greet each other and celebrate this festive season. I wish to thank the organizers for having invited me to share some thoughts on metro construction, which has taken our country by storm. These are the contents of my presentation. First, some introductory remarks, then how do we cast the precast elements, how do we transport them, how do we erect them, and of course, what are the future concepts which are likely to come in metro constructions. Firstly, why metro? I think the most intelligent remark that I have seen was made by the Delhi High Court. A developed country is not one where the poor own cars. It is one where the rich use public transport. And public transportation is essential for tier 1 and now increasingly tier 2 and tier 3 cities in India for sustainability. When population reaches about 20 lakhs, some form of mass transit system should be in place. This slide shows you, if you see carefully on the left hand side, on the y-axis, you can see the various types of transportations. On the upper side is the speed, which is on the x-axis, speed given in kilometers per hour. And at the bottom, the x-axis shows you the capacity. Now, what you see in the dark blue lines, that is the speed. So obviously, if you see the first item, which is the private car, it has a very high speed, reaching even 75 to 80 kilometers per hour on a freeway. But you see this white part, which tells you as to what is the capacity. That means that the blue lines you have to see at the corresponding x-axis at the top, and for the whites, you have to see the x-axis at the bottom. So if you see a car, there may be maybe 4 or 5 people sitting in it, and it can go at 75 kilometers per hour. On the other hand, if you see the metro railway, what we are using in India, the speed may be low, it's only 40 kilometers per hour, but the number of people it can go take in one direction per hour is as high as 60,000 passengers. So that is the difference. Mass transit means the speed may not be very much. And why the speed is not very much? Because every kilometer you have to pick up passengers, drop passengers. So it is not like going on a freeway from one end to the other end. It is going at a small pace, which means that every kilometer you have to come to a grinding halt and then start accelerating again. So that is why the speed is always low as far as metros are concerned. So the design concept as well as the construction methodology has to be such that no land acquisition or reduction of carriageway widths of the road are required. Accelerated construction, that is where the precasting comes into the picture. You have to reduce the environmental pollution, which means noise and air to be not to be polluted, and minimum disturbance to traffic during construction. This is one of the most important issues. That means no shutdowns and no elaborate movements of making the traffic go from one direction to the other. And durability of the structural components you have to ensure, because the design life has to be 100 years. Finally, the aesthetic quality of the construction becomes more important because these metros are in the urban environment, and their aesthetics counts a lot. If you want people to own this mode of transportation and be proud of it, then it must look good also. This is a typical sketch which shows you how only in the median verge you have a pier and two tracks are supported on the box girder which you see at the top, which is shown in pink. The type of rolling stock that we are using in India have axle loads of 16 to 18 tons, and number of successive cars can be 6 and even 8 at times. They can also be reduced to 4. For example, when we are talking about tier 2 or tier 3 cities, I'm sure that the axle loads will come down dramatically, and also the number of cars may not be as many. But for the structural engineers, I mean, the impact factor is quite high. For longitudinal analysis is only 1.2, but in the transverse direction, it can be 1.67, which is a huge impact factor that you have to take into account. Here's another photograph where you can see there is no land acquisition, there is no reduction of the carriageway widths. You are merely using the central verge for supporting the entire metro structure. One of the big advantages of precasting is that while the superstructure is being cast in the casting yard, which you see in this photograph, the substructures and foundations are already being implemented at the site. So that is how you reduce the time of construction when you are using precast technologies in metro constructions. I want to show you a small clip which demonstrates that what exactly is the precasting technology in very few words or in very few pictures. So here you can see something which is in the casting yard. What is happening is that there is already a precast segment which you see behind. In front of it, we are lowering a steel cage which is put in position. Here you can see the internal shutter being put in position. So you have got the sides already in position, you've got the reinforcement in position, and now we are sliding in the bottom shutter. It is like a tunnel formwork, if you may call it that. Once this is in position, we can close the ends so that it is ready for concreting, and that is what you are going to see in a minute. There the ends are closed. Now you got a compartment which is watertight, and you can put the concrete. So the concrete, as you can see, is against the already existing segment which you saw behind. That is still there. So the concrete, when you pour, it is all liquid, and it will, the interface between the new concrete and the old concrete will be completely in sync. That is the whole idea of this technique of precasting, and this is called match casting, because the two faces at the interface are a mirror of each other, which it is so perfect that you couldn't even get that type of a perfection in even if you were to machine it. Here you can see the rest of the segments are being concreted and put in position much the same way as you saw in the earlier slides. After that, the segments, This is the stacking yard. We require a huge stacking yard because the segments are going to keep on being produced, and you require a storage space, which we term as the stacking yard. And from here, it is taken to the site by the trailer which you just saw, which went past. What are the types of sections that the metro constructions have? On the top, you can see it's a precast, pre-tensioned, full span twin U-girder, which means that there are two tracks and there are two structures right at the top, which is shown in pink. You can also have a U-girder which has got two girders, or two tracks rather, on the same section. You can also have a box girder, which is shown in the subsequent two sketches. And you can have, of course, I girders, which can be either pre-tensioned or post-tensioned. But the important issue is that in the first sketch that you see right at the top, it is a full span, whereas in the next three, you have got segmental, which means that they are made in small segments, as you saw in the previous slides. And of course, the I-beam and I-girders, we all know it is for the full length, and that is how it is. It is concreted. It can be pre-tensioned or post-tensioned. Now, there are two types of casting method. One is called short bench, which you can see here. There are only two segments which are shown here. You have a segment which has already been concreted, and a new one is being concreted against it, so that you get a proper match cast joint, which means that the joint characteristics, one is a mirror reflection on the two sides. This is the long line method, which you can see obviously. And when you are using this type of method, and this is used for pre-tensioning quite a lot, it is better to have a casting yard or the whole system which is long in size, so that you can put several girders in line, as you can see here. And the pre-tensioning actually runs from one end to the other end. Often 200 meters is the length of this, and there are several girders which can be cast on this at a time. And then of course you remove it, and all these gantries, etc., that you see, this is for lowering the cage, for removing the girder after it is gained strength, and then you can keep on reusing it. The transportation of the precast elements again depends on whether we are talking about segmental construction or are we talking about the full span. Segmental construction, as you can see, this is a segment of a U-girder which can carry two tracks on it. You can see what is called a low bedded trailer. We make it as low as possible so that when you are taking turns, these have to travel along the roads which exist in the city so that they don't overturn. So you have to keep the center of gravity as low as possible. So that is why this is called a low bedded trailer. When you have a full span, the matters are a little more complicated. As you can see here, this is a full span U-girder, which is, let's say the span is about 27 meters. So that is the length of the girder itself, which you are transporting in one go, because this is full span. And in the front, you have, of course, the truck which is taking it to the site. So overall, you may have a length of maybe 35 meters. And this you have to make sure that you can transport it at the site with on all the roads, the route that this thing is going to follow. Then there is the erection of precast segments after you have transported the precast elements to the site. If you are doing segmental construction, there is one type of equipment required, and when you are doing a full span construction, there is another type of equipment. That is what we are going to see here. If you can see carefully, the lines on the superstructure, those are the segments which have been put in position, and they are hanging from the red launching truss at the top. And after they are properly aligned and jointed together, then this whole launching truss can move to the next span. So it is also called the self-launching truss. Here you can see another type of precast segmental construction, which is the U-girder, which can carry two tracks at the same time. Now, how does this segmental construction work? People have often asked this question again and again, and let me try to explain this. There are three issues which come into play. One is the match casting, which you have already seen now. There are shear keys at the mating surfaces, which you can see clearly. And you can also see that this is going to be pre-stressed. It is the combination of all these three issues which makes sure that these segments which you have erected there, they don't fall down. But once you have assembled, you have pre-stressed, then they remain in position. Here you can see the shear stress. Shear is being transferred across the joint. This is the joint of the shear keys, which is the interface. And you have, by these horizontal arrows, you can see this is the pre-stress. So if one segment has to displace vertically against the other, it can't, because the shear keys will not let it happen. And the two segments cannot go apart because of the pre-stressing. So this is the technique which makes sure that you can do the segmental construction, and all three are necessary. Let's go to the next one. Standardization is the key to the precast segmental construction technology. The spans need not be the same in the entire alignment. As a matter of fact, they often keep varying depending on what are the type of obstacles that you have to cross. And you cannot put the pier wherever you want, even on the central verge. Sometimes there are buried services or pipelines. So you have to keep on changing the spans, and this flexibility must be introduced in the precast segmental technology that you use for metro constructions. But standardization is in this sense. As you can see here, this is a simply supported span, and you will have a pre-stressing cables which will go from end to end. The central part of the pre-stressing cable is kept horizontal, so that only the ends remain the same. If you see very carefully, the end segments do not change, but you keep on introducing more and more segments in the middle, where the pre-stressing cable is horizontal. To look at it another way, if you have the bottommost sketch, if you see carefully, it has got all the segments which will constitute the maximum span. If you want to make a smaller span, you take out segments from the middle one by one, and you can keep on making it shorter and shorter, the span. When you have a full span erection, which you can see in this slide, you require two cranes as are shown, and the girder weight may be as much as 150 tons, and you have to pick it up from the transportation trolley which you saw in the earlier slides, and put it in position. Obviously, the width of the road, at least temporarily, must be wide enough so that you can accommodate the vehicle which is going to bring the segment. The upper sketch shows you how the segment has been brought in position. There are two cranes which are lifting it up and putting it. Now you have to lift and put in position two girders in the same span. So you can see the first one being lifted in the upper sketch, and the second one is being lifted at the bottom in the bottom sketch. Not only precast concrete spans but also pier caps, which you can see here. The precast pier cap is being threaded into the reinforcement of the columns or piers, which you see in this slide. So precasting has a huge employment in the metro construction. Stations, like I said, every 1 kilometer, that's how the stations are, and they are extremely important. They are often about 120, 130 to 150 meters long. This is a typical precast station. You can see the U-girder here, and you can also see 2 tracks which it is catering to. This is the platform where passengers will come, and then they will go into the train, or they alight from the train onto the platform. So this is the platform level, which is exceedingly important. And there is something else called a concourse level, which is the first slab from the bottom. And all this, you must have a roof, which is normally made in steel. So this is what constitutes the station. And the stations are always a problem. As far as the timing is concerned, fairly quickly you can make the viaduct, and it goes on at a pace. But of course, the stations is another issue altogether. It is much slower. So to do that, here I'll show you how a precast station was made, and this technology was at the request of Delhi Metro, where they didn't want cast in situ constructions which hold up the progress of the work. Here you can see this is the concourse level at the bottom, and you can see the platform level. You can see the roof. These are the main things that you have to do. And the tracks are here. There are 2 tracks which are to be supported. So this is one way of supporting it, that you have something like 3 U-girders. You can have 2, 3, whatever, but the depth has to be kept to a minimum. That's why you have 3 instead of 2, so that the level of the track itself is not elevated because of the structure. This is the roadway level, and this has to be kept open for the traffic during construction as well as in the service condition. If you see a small animation in that, after making the foundations and the piers, we have to now have a sequence of construction, because they are, one above the other. What constitutes the concourse level and what constitutes the platform level. So how it is to be done, sequence is shown here. This is the post-tensioned girder, normally very heavy. It can go up to 80-90 tons, and it has to be put in position on top and post-tensioned to the pier. Here you can see the making of the concourse slab, and you can see the sequence in which the construction is being made. This is crucial to plan right in the beginning. The double T's, as we call it, which constitute the concourse level, they are stable by itself. That is the big advantage of a double T, what we call. Many people try to use single girders. They are not as efficient as these, because there you have to make sure that they don't topple while they are being put in position. So after doing the both the platform slabs as well as the concourse slabs, you make the staircases and make arrangements where the escalators are going to come. And on top of that, you can see how the structural steel roof is being positioned. So the structural steel roof is actually supported on top of the platform, or at the level of the platform, by some means or the other. And you can see one scheme here. Here you can see that post-tension girder being put in position. The technology now has advanced a little bit from the time that we started. Here you can see all precast beams, both at the platform level and concourse level, being put in position. Here's another way of doing things which is becoming exceedingly popular. That means that you make the concourse level, which is almost always very wide compared to the platform, and construct it in pieces. For example, in the bottom part that you see, there is a spine beam which is in the center, and to that is attached on either side the what we call wings. And many flyovers, etc., have also been constructed in the same manner, but the same techniques are now being used even for making the concourse level structure in precast concrete. Here you can see it in action. This is taken from the Hyderabad Metro, where you can see the box girder. This is where the train is going to move. On the top of this box girder, you can see the platform level slab, which will be at this level, and you can see the concourse level, which is being constructed by wings. Of course, in this case, there was no central part. It was just directly connected. But if you see the later ones, which I'm going to show you now, the future concepts that are going to come, one of the things that is going to happen is that the people are becoming increasingly fond of this double-decker system. That means that in the same structure, on the same central verge, you should not only be able to move the metro, but also an elevated road. So in this is perhaps the first one which we did in India, which is in the Jaipur, which you can see that the lower level, this is where the road traffic is going to move, and at the top almost always is the metro. So this type of construction is becoming exceedingly popular. Here you can see the spine beam in action. Here you can see this is the spine beam in the center. You got a 28-meter wide concourse level, and then you've got the box girder which is supporting the tracks at the top. Here you can see it is under construction. These are called wings, which are being attached to the spine beam, which is at the center. So what else is in the future? One of the things is less and less people like the idea that you are going to transport the segments on the roads on which they travel. You should find some other way. This is called the end-on solution, which means that you use the already constructed part of the viaduct and bring the segments on top. That means it's a construction which is more or less a top-down. That means you don't use the roads to transport the segment, but it is brought by a vehicle on the already constructed portion and then lifted and put in position, as you can see here. Here is another end-on solution, which I think is going to become extremely popular in the days to come, because like I said, people don't like their day-to-day activities being disturbed just because you have to transport a segment or a full span, as is shown in this slide, on the roads itself. So you are using the already constructed portion and using this equipment, which is also a launching girder, to put 820-ton girder in position. So this is what the future holds. That means that you will not be able to use the ground level roads too often, and people will expect that you will do all these activities of erection from the top. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention, and let us have a virtual handshake.
Thank you for your inspiring words, sir. Our journey runs parallel to the journey of India's growth. Over the years, the ICI Ultratech Concrete Day and Construction Excellence Awards have celebrated you, the leaders of the fraternity, and your achievements. This year too, the celebration will continue and be written in our history books. These memories will forever be etched in our minds and hearts. Let's go back in time and look at how far we have come together as a family in this nation-building journey. Each milestone holds a huge significance in our voyage. Let's look at the
Formation Day of Indian Concrete Institute, that is September 7, is celebrated as Concrete Day all over India. To embrace this occasion, first Ultratech IC Award ceremony started on September 2000 by giving two awards in Bangalore annually. Ultratech Endowment Award for Outstanding Concrete Engineer of the Year and Birla Super Endowment Award for Outstanding Concrete Structure of the Year.
Today, the awards stand as the pinnacle of achievements for the fraternity and a beacon for aspiring talent to strive for.
These awards are the most coveted awards now in construction industry and presented in an august gathering of stalwarts from all segments of the industry.
The ICI Ultratech Concrete Day and Construction Excellence Awards started as the beginning to many possibilities, which initiated in one city and has spread out to over 30 locations. As our mission goes further, what we truly cherish is that our bond grows stronger.
Today is the day to honor all the reverend engineers who have stood apart with their creativity, a combination of art and science, and in this current unprecedented situation when physical events seems to be infeasible, Indian Concrete Institute and Ultratech Cement illustrating its readiness for the change and quickly adapted to current phase, which is digital.
Miles separate us, but emotions bind us tighter than ever. We're back once again in celebration of you. The jury has deliberated, awestruck by the magnificence they set out to judge. Today, we celebrate not just the winners, but the very spirit of excellence that has propelled the nation.
Excellent yesterday, resilient today,
Victorious tomorrow.
ICI Ultratech Concrete Day and Construction Excellence Awards.
Let's move on to one of the most exciting segments of this evening, the awards ceremony. The awards are the perfect pedestal of honor to some exemplary work done in our industry. And we do have some noteworthy nominations and winners tonight. But before we announce our deserving winners, let us introduce you all to the eminent jury who have taken their time out to shortlist our best entries. Let's give a huge round of applause to our jury. Present without any further ado, let's begin the awards. But wait, why don't I accompany you all in this momentous celebration? Quite literally. Moving on to one of the most awaited segments of this magnificent evening, the awards. Allow me to introduce the first category of the evening. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Concrete Structure Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our winner. Structure name Durgam Cheruvu Cable Bridge. Salient features: this bridge is India's first and the world's third longest cable extra-dosed bridge. It is the longest single span in the world. Used approximately 29,000 cubic meters consisting of M60, M50, M40, M30 grades of concrete. The bridge cables and pylons are dazzled with architectural lighting and have 25 themes such as Independence Day, Diwali, Eid and many more. High-frequency mechanical vibrators have been used for the Durgam Cheruvu cable bridge. High-performance mix design was used to reduce the de-shuttering of precast segment timeline to 24 hours. Footpaths are finished with elegant stamped concrete, which was selected with pattern looking like naturalistic wood flavored by rich Hyderabadi historic culture. Owner name Mr. S. Venkataramana SC, GHMC. Structural Consultant Engineer, Engineer Atul S. Bokil, Chief Manager Stoop Consultants. Contractor Builder Mr. Ranganathan, Project in Charge L&T Constructions Limited. Moving on to the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award, Hyderabad. Please join me in welcoming our winner. Structure name Vrindavan House. Salient features: the building's volumes have been carefully worked out to maintain interesting aspects of elevation. An elegant living room has been provided with a classy interior to elevate the living experience. Vrindavan House is a low energy consuming structure as it is equipped with solar panels. The elegant and classical themed helical grand manner staircase is the house's main focus. Complementing this scenario is the stretched ceiling that fans out above. The house also comes with a radiant sculpture of Lord Surya on a chariot that doubles the interior's beauty. Owner name Mr. Thota Uma Maheshwar Rao. Architect Ajender Prasad, Prasad Architects. Structural Consultant Engineer, Engineer Javed Jilani Khan, Metro Engineering Consultants. Ladies and gentlemen, the next category of ICI Ultratech Awards is Category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award, Karimnagar. And our winner is Structure name Shukla Home. Salient features: the structure is a beautiful modern landscape with sufficient open areas all around for natural lighting and ventilation. Shukla Home has comfortable and straightforward interiors for private spaces, intending to give the resident the desired experience and privacy. The house effectively utilizes the area, hence no part of land was wasted. The building has an aesthetic elevation. It was made using the inclined column technique. To enhance the beauty of the building, a lawn has been designed with spacious parking zone and children's playing area. Owner name Mr. Ravi Shankar Shukla. Architect, Structural Consultant, Engineer, Engineer K. Srinivas. Contractor Builder Mr. Adla Bhikshapati. The next category of tonight's awards is category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award, Nizamabad. And the winner is structure name Velma Nilayam. Salient features: the house is designed based on staggered volumes that ensure active wind flow and spaces to pour out greenery. Velma Nilayam is oriented in the east-west direction with buffer spaces strategically positioned on the western and southern walls to minimize solar heat gain. Concrete compressive strength has been done by utilizing a mobile concrete laboratory along with slump testing, which was done at the time of slab casting. The cantilevers sit out on the first floor of the house gives an aesthetic feel with a cool breeze to establish a dialogue between the house and its surroundings. Owner name Mr. Velma Sayanna. Structural consultant engineer, Engineer K. Narsingh. Contractor builder, Mr. K. Narayana. And our next category is category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award, Mehboob Nagar. Allow me to welcome our winner. Structure name Rajesh Home. Salient features: the structure's volumes have been carefully worked out to maintain impressive elevation and composition all around the building. Building designs including warm woods and nature-inspired elements, an exterior facade designed with regards to their natural settings. Warm woods and nature-inspired elements have been used to design the interior. An elegant living room has been provided to elevate the living experience. Rainwater harvesting has also been provided to recharge groundwater. Eco-friendly products and green building products have been used to construct this house. Owner name Mr. Chirla Rajesh Kumar. Architect, structural consultant, engineer, Engineer Muhammad Imran. Let's now move on to the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award, Nalgonda. Put your hands together for our winner. Structure name Vanitha's Nest. Salient features: green building and eco-friendly materials used for the building's construction. ISI, NSF, UPCI approved plumbing material has been used for Vanitha's Nest. Integral waterproofing has been done for slab concrete members, membrane waterproofing done for the balcony and toilets in the building. Water testing was performed as soon as the bore was cast inside to check its suitability for construction. Compressive strength of concrete was conducted at all stages of construction. Owner name Mr. Sunil Kumar. Structural consultant engineer, Engineer S. Prithvi Raj. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award, Khammam. Let's have a huge round of applause for the winner. Structure name Residence of Venkateshwarlu. Salient features: the colors selected for the building flaunts nature. Big size tiles were used to increase the landscaping of flooring, an elegant false ceiling to reduce thermal radiation, making the home cooler. The extra wide corridors provided in the building, along with an excellent elevation, adds to the overall look of the building. The dynamic planning of the building was done, keeping in mind the essential requirements and bylaws. Owner name Mr. B. Venkateshwarlu. Structural consultant engineer, Engineer M. Srinivas Kumar. Contractor builder, Mr. D. Nagesh. Let's move on to the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award Nirmal. Please welcome our winner. Structure name Residence of G. Gangadhar. Salient features: the building is designed to have an aesthetic elevation. The thoughtful interiors with wide openings invite ample of light into the house. The M25 grade of concrete was used for slabs and M30 for columns. Designs have transformed over time from the once sterile white walls and stark decor to vibrant colors and eye-catching materials on the interior and exterior. Owner name Mr. Gumala Gangadhar. Architect Kushila Vidyasagar. Structural consultant engineer Donikela Srinivas. The next category of ICI Ultratech Awards is Category ICI Ultratech Well-Built Residential Building Award Warangal. Join me in welcoming our winner. Structure name Residence of Khalik Sahib. Salient features: the building is constructed such that the weight of the overall structure is evenly and scientifically distributed. Soil testing was conducted to counter the challenge faced with the soil strata before the beginning of the project. Quality of the material used for construction was tested by using a mobile concrete laboratory. Contractor took a more assertive approach to get quality construction with focus on quality products. Owner name Mr. Muhammad Khalid. Architect Muhammad Tanzil Shavez Ali. Structural consultant engineer Muhammad Hidayat Ali. Allow me to introduce the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Commercial Building Award Hyderabad. The winner is Structure name New Life Assembly of God. Salient features: the structure has been designed keeping in mind the flavor of the new generation and cultural ethics of the Baptist. 2,536 cubic meters of concrete have been used to construct this structure. Sustainable materials like fly ash and manufactured sand have been used. Post-tensioning slab and double height shuttering have been adopted. The parking space was constructed by pervious concrete to recharge the groundwater. Due to the loose and loamy soil at the site, a thorough investigation was carried out to ascertain the structure's stability. The selection and placement of customized items for the interiors helps the church in emphasizing and accentuating the design of the spaces in it. Architect Siri Purappu Sankar. Structural consultant engineer Saddi Mahinder Reddy. And our next category is Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Commercial Building Award Ranga Reddy. Please put your hands together for our winner. Structure name Vishwa Vishwani Group of Institutions. Salient features: a total of 2,097 cubic meters of concrete was used to construct this structure. Vishwa Vishwani Group of Institutions is a low energy consuming structure as it is equipped with solar panels. To combat the isolation often associated with busy residential buildings and gated communities, wide passages have been made at ground level to facilitate pedestrians with walkways and footpaths. The design's excellence stems from its splendid verticality and sleek silhouette wrapped in a glass curtain wall with steel mullions. Outdoor gathering spaces have been located in front of every block's entrance. With a span of 36 feet, The strength of its design stems not only from its awe-inspiring verticality, but also from its sleek silhouette wrapped in a glass curtain wall with steel mullions that catch the beholder's eyes. Architect, Structural Consultant, Engineer. Architect and Engineer, Adepu Kashiram. Contractor Builder, Mr. K.S. Anand. Moving on to the next category of awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Commercial Building Award, Mancherial. And the winner is structure name Vishal Megamart. Salient features: eco-friendly steel doors have been used for the structure. Vishal Megamart is a low energy consuming building as it is equipped with solar panels. The structure slabs are designed as a post-tension transfer slab. Shear links have been provided in the transfer slab to counter the punching shear. Columns required for the apartment structure were taken as floating columns supported on PT flat transfer slabs. Owner name Mr. Kamarapu Ravindran. Structural Consultant Engineer, Engineer Nalla Lakshmaya and Engineer Mamilpalli Ramesh. Contractor Builder, Mr. Paddala Ramanna. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Commercial Building Award, Nirmal. Allow me to introduce you to the winner. Structure name Surya Hospital. Salient features: more than 680 cubic meters of concrete of grade M25 and M30 has been used to construct Surya Hospital. The interior includes spaces with modern lounge areas and floor-to-ceiling glass walls. The cooler tones inside the building suggest a modern feel and look. Elements like hardwood floors and large windows ensure that the patients are warm and comfortable. An effective building plan in the hospital allows for the safe evacuation of the building, and it can delay the spread of fire until the arrival of the fire brigade. Polycarbonate roof shed covering 75% of the terrace area. Owner name Mr. Utnor Lingagaud. Structural Consultant Engineer, Contractor Builder, Engineer Rajkumar Puppalla. And the next category of tonight's awards is Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Commercial Building Award, Khammam. Please welcome our winner. Structure name Happy Homes. Salient features: cross ventilation has been adopted to invite fresh air inside and push the hot air out of the building. The material used to construct this building has been quality tested. Soil investigation was also conducted. The 15 residences provided in the apartment are spaced apart such that the residents can play in the common area and cover it with greenery. The focal point of the apartment attracts undistinctive entrance with an elegant elevation which gives a warm feeling to the visitor. Owner name Messrs. Vallabha Constructions and Developers. Architect M. Sindhuja. Structural Consultant Engineer, Engineer N. Venkata Rao. Moving on to the last category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Commercial Building Award, Warangal. The winner is structure name Shri Krishna Pediatric Hospital. Salient features: the smart lift system has been adopted, which allows for faster movement in vertical travel of patients and the public in the hospital. The hospital's effective plan enables safe evacuation in case of fire emergency.
The building is equipped with security systems like biometric and access controls. CC camera surveillance can be accessed from multiple areas of the building. Flooring provided in the building is adaptable for the feet of children and reduces risk of injury from slips and falls, which also helps in stain resistance and designed for decreased bacteria. Power utilization is reduced by installing solar panels at the terrace. Owner name Dr. Rajkumar. Architect, structural consultant, engineer, architect engineer D. Shyamkumar. Contractor builder Mr. P. Srinivasa Reddy. Allow me to introduce you to the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Concrete Engineer Award. He is a gold medalist in civil engineering from prestigious Regional Engineering College, Warangal, and completed his MTech in structural engineering with flying colors from IIT Kanpur. A part of the Indian Engineering Services, he worked as an officer in Indian Railway Service of Engineers. He has designed multiple remarkable structures including the Hallmark Technology Park at Chennai, Yashoda Hospitals at Secunderabad and JNTUH Auditorium at Kukatpalli, Hyderabad, an agricultural college at Sirisilla, horticultural college at Mujerla, railway bridges for Rail Vikas Nigam Limited between Vijayawada Guddur and Vijayawada Tanuku sections. And the winner is Engineer V.V. Krishna Reddy. He has employed more than 200 engineers during his 24 years of consultancy services. Apart from the structural work, he has contributed to the industry by conducting several workshops and seminars to young budding engineers. Ladies and gentlemen, the next category of tonight's awards is Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Young Concrete Technologist Award. An engineer with more than 15 years of experience in teaching and research in the field, she completed her MS PhD in Geotechnical Earthquake Engineering from IIIT Hyderabad. She has played the role of a guide for more than 100 B.Tech students, 15 M.Tech students and 1 PhD student. She has 3 book chapters, a book and an international patent to her credit. A life member of IGS, she is a mentor for ICI student chapter at Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology. And our winner is Dr. Pallavi Badri. Under her guidance, the Civil Engineering Department students were honored with the Best Student Chapter Award in 2019 by ICI. Moving on to the next category of awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Student Chapter Award. The winner is Vardhaman College of Engineering. In last year, they have done total 12 activities, in that 3 concrete mix proportioning programs, 8 student programs, 4 knowledge enhancement trips to RMC plants and opened Tech Knowledge Center in college. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the next category of tonight's awards. Category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Student Chapter Jury Appreciation. This institute was established in 1998 by a group of committed academicians and enterprising educationists. The educational body quickly won the confidence of the parent community and the students to become one of the most desired destinations for studying engineering. The Department of Civil Engineering of Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology has collaborated with the Indian Concrete Institute, Telangana. With this collaboration, VJIT intends to establish a knowledge center to enhance the industrial knowledge and source of UG and PG students' career growth in the field of civil engineering. Our winner is Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology. Last year, they did 14 activities, 1 concrete mix proportioning, 2 student interaction programs, 1 expert lecture, 4 knowledge trips to RMC plants. The next category of ICI Ultratech Awards is category ICI Ultratech Outstanding Pieces Masters Award. Currently, he is an associate professor in the Civil Engineering Department of Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. He has worked as an assistant engineering manager in L&T Limited and as an assistant professor in KSR College of Engineering, Tiruchengood. He has successfully published 31 technical papers in various reputed international and national journals and conferences in diversified areas. He holds an Indian patent titled Glass-Creep Building Blocks. Please welcome our winner, Dr. N. Sudarshan. He was honored with Young Scientist in Structural Engineering, a gold medal award in 2018 by Venus International, Chennai. Dr. N. Sudarshan is a life member of Indian Society for Technical Education, the Institution of Engineers, International Association of Engineers, and International Society for Research and Development. Thesis title: Experimental Study on Strength and Durability Properties of Glass Powder in Brick and Brick Masonry. Guide name: Dr. T. Palaniswamy, Assistant Professor, National Institute of Technology, Mangalore, Karnataka. As we approach the end of the evening, with pleasure, I would like to invite the Regional Head Marketing, Ultratech Cement, to conclude this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to all the dignitaries attending this prestigious virtual award function of ICI Hyderabad Center. We are thankful to today's chief guest, Engineer Vinay Gupta, President ICI and CEO and Director of Tandon Consultants Private Limited, New Delhi, for his award function. We are very fortunate to have you here today as our chief guest. Our sincere thanks to Professor Mahesh Tandon, Tandon Consultant Private Limited, for sharing his experience and delivering such a wonderful information in detail. We are also thankful to Engineer R. Radhakrishnan, Secretary General ICI Chennai. We are thankful to all the dignitaries from Ultratech, whose association with ICI has been wonderful in promoting the objective of ICI. Our particular thanks to Dr. V. Ramachandra, Head Technical Services, Shri Keshav Hegde, Zonal Head Marketing South and rest of Maharashtra, and Engineer K. Jayashankar, Zonal Head Technical Services South. We convey our heartfelt regards to our juries, Professor Dr. R. Ramesh Reddy, former Principal and Dean, University College of Engineering, Usmania University, Hyderabad, Dr. K. Ganesh Babu, Professor, Mahindra University, former Director, Central General Research Institute, CISR, Roorkee, former Professor, IIT Madras, Engineer Mahindra Reddy, ASA Consultant, Hyderabad, Engineer C. Shekhar Reddy, Chairman, CII, Indian Green Building Council, past National President of CREDAI and Hyderabad. We wholeheartedly thank all the members who submitted nomination for this year from across Telangana and congratulate all the award-winning participants. We are thankful to all the ICI members of Hyderabad Center, all participants, delegates, all officer bearers of Hyderabad Center, and all officials of Ultratech. Special thanks to Engineer P. Srinivasa Reddy, ICI Chairman, Hyderabad Center, who we have extensive cooperation from starting to ending this prestigious ICI Award Function 2020. Thank you all once again. Thanks a lot.
It was an honor hosting you, inspiring personalities. It is great to see the country in the hands of such creative minds. And it's no secret that with such visionaries, in no time, India will be a global leader. We cannot wait to meet each one of you in person next year. Wishing you and your family health and safety. May you continue to excel and may our partnership continue to build our nation. Here's me, Nisha Shetty, your host for the evening, signing off.